The Fiido L2 is not your typical electric folding bike. It follows a more East Asian design, offering small wheels, dual moped-style suspension, a rear seat for a passenger or cargo, and a massive, nearly 1 kilowatt-hour battery for long-range riding. Hey everyone, Micah here with Electrek, and today we're reviewing the Fiido L2 electric bike. It's an awesome e-bike, and you're going to want to check this one out. Let's start with the tech specs like usual. We're rocking a 350 watt continuous motor in the rear wheel, but it feels a lot stronger than that. The bike runs on a 48 volt electrical system, so I'd expect this to be at least 500 real world watts coming from that rear hub motor. The hill climbing performance is good enough to pretty much guarantee that we're looking at more than 350 watts here. The wheels are small at 14 inches, but that also translates into better torque from the rear hub motor. There's only a single gear, no multi-speed transmission, but it seems like Fiido did a good job with a compromise on the gear ratio, where you can still actually pedal at higher speeds while also feeling comfortable pedaling during slower hill climbs. You can also pop that seat up higher than I have it here, but since I ride mostly with throttle only, I usually keep the seat a bit lower, where I find it more comfortable having a lower center of gravity. The removable battery on the L2 is a 48 volt and 20 amp hour unit for about 960 watt hours, which for reference is around twice the capacity of a standard entry-level e-bike, and results in a range of somewhere between 50 to 80 miles or 80 to 130 kilometers. And you might not believe me on that, but it's true, and part of the reason the range is so good is that the top speed on the L2 here is not that high. It only gets up to 15 miles per hour or 25 kilometers per hour. That's a little bit of a bummer, to be honest, but it makes the bike more efficient and it helps result in that massive range. Now, how do I feel about the speed? To be honest, I definitely want more. When I hit the 15 mile an hour limit, it leaves me wanting to twist the throttle just a bit further and eke out a bit more speed. However, it's not too terribly limiting, especially for riders that are going to be in the city using bike lanes and otherwise are not planning on racing this thing. The Fiido L2 is very much a utility e-bike, so it's not a speedster by any means, but for utility, it actually works great. That rear bench seat could carry a passenger or a cargo box for groceries or other necessities. When it comes to a passenger, there are no foot pegs, which is also kind of a bummer, but you can use the rear axle as foot pegs in a pinch, or add your own. The bike folds quite small, which is an advantage over a lot of moped-style e-bikes that don't have a folding option. There are also built-in lights in the front and the rear that run off the battery. There's an electrical horn, there are disc brakes, and don't forget about that front and rear suspension. Basically, this is a very nice little e-bike with decent power and super long range, all for an incredibly affordable $729 from Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description below this video so you can find this model. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is the best bike in the world, because it certainly is not. But for $729, the build quality and the utility are both surprisingly good. I would have loved to see some nicer brakes and better quality plastic parts, like the fenders and the folding pedals, but I also have to be realistic. For half the cost of industry leaders like Rad Power bikes, I'm getting twice the range, plus rear suspension, and arguably more utility by being able to pull a passenger along with me, even if it's limited to somewhat smaller passengers. All in all, I'm pretty darn impressed with the value you get with this e-bike. For city dwellers, this could be a great solution to skip the Uber and take your own transportation. Hell, depending where you live, you could probably buy this bike for the same cost as just a couple months of Ubering around. And I'll admit, you may not look like the coolest kid in school on this bike, but at least you've got that rear seat to pick up chicks, just in case the Fiido L2 actually does it for them. Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that review. If you did, why don't you give the video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe either, so you can check out all of Electrek's electric vehicle videos. We'll see you here next time.